Hello, everyone. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about 7 reasons why men are opting out of relationships and marriage. But first, let me say thank you to all my new subscribers, everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. Okay, so here are 7 reasons why men are opting out of relationships and marriage. Number 1, it's not worth it. Simple cost-benefit analysis, risk versus rewards. Whatever benefits marriage provides to a man, he has to weigh it against the fact that if his wife becomes unhappy for any reason, she can divorce him, take his children, take his house, and put a claim on all of his future earnings, sleep with other men, and treat him like a monster for the rest of his life. Any man who agrees to that is a fool, and men are refusing to do it. I compare this to the idea of men taking children on his back and then going out to play and work on thin ice that he is pretty sure is going to break. So that's the number 1 reason why men are not getting married. And it goes towards relationships too, because the woman can just accuse the man of a crime. It's like, how many seconds are you allowed to look at a woman before she can accuse you of sexual harassment? Number 2. Women have become total bitches. Women act and behave like psychopathic tyrants. And given the true nature of civilization, the true gynocentric nature of civilization, the level of entitlement that women and the victim classes have with their victim status, and this appealing to the fear and the hatred of the women with the demonizing of the normal sexual behavior of men, the women have become total bitches, and nobody enjoys their company. They're like monsters. They're destroying civilization, and people are just afraid of them. Number 3, men have been shamed and ridiculed for at least the last 50 years. You know, it's been going on forever, but it's been really obvious over the last 50 years. Nearly every aspect of decent male behavior, leadership, courage, honesty, bravery, loyalty, etc., 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 has been either mocked, shamed, ridiculed, or outright conditioned out of men. And the few men that do go along, they become more like girlfriends to the women rather than men. Where have all the good men gone? They've gone away from the man-hating, entitled princess bitches. That's where they've gone. Number 4, women have become too shallow. When it comes to relationships, women think and act like teenage girls. They want tall, rich, handsome guys with lots of money and fast cars. And they shun the good, honest, hardworking, normal men. Women need to stop thinking like girls that want to be entertained, and start thinking like women that actually have something to offer men. Wouldn't that be a nice change? Number 5. With the educational system, the workplace, the media so hostile to men, men are just backing off. The media, the various social institutions, they just pretend to be worried about the welfare of the women and the underprivileged classes, and they're blaming the men. So all these problems that the media drums up in order to, get people's attention, the implication is that, oh yeah, that's right, and the normal men of your society, those are the ones to blame. We have to get those bastards. So it really is like stoking the entire population of the civilization to hate men. And that really is the game that's being played right here. It's playing on the fear of the women and the men's desire to reproduce, to get with the women. Right? So you play these two things off of each other, and you can really control everything. And the men and the women will never get together and build strong families that, don't want to have big giant government and big giant institutions bossing them around. It's a, great system if you're a government or a big giant dark corporation. So this is the light in which media, government, social values and practices cast everything. Woman, victim, man, evil. That's it. So it's just been getting worse and worse. And the men, naturally, they're stepping back. They're drawing back. And even the really stupid men that would normally have sex with pretty much any woman, even they're backing off in this new age of these man-hating land whales. Moving on. Number 6, women are sluts. I don't know. Maybe they always were sluts. But now they're not only shameless and open about it, but they're outright hostile and aggressive about it. Slut walks, where women assert their right to dress, undress, and act like sluts, but not be called or perceived as sluts, with the idea that this should be how women are treated in all things. This is no matter how badly they really do act. They should never be treated or perceived as they have, in fact, just acted. Slut walks. The right to be completely immune to the responsibility of your own behavior and actions. Sluts. So men don't want to get together with sluts. Nobody wants to have a long-term relationship with a slut. She's just going to stab you in the back. She's just going to be a slut. Okay, number 7. Women are liars. And I'm not even going to try to spin this to women's advantage. I'm sorry. Women are liars, and they know that they are liars. Women know what men are like. Normal, good, decent men, they're not hard to read. So everything that the woman does is an act of deception. The makeup, the hair, the dressing, the way she behaves. She pretends to really, really like the guy, at first, with the idea that once she gets her foot in the door, or, his meatloaf in her oven, oh shit, it reminds me, that, she's going to change the man to her liking, which proves that women see men as tools. You know what I mean? She's lying to him from the start, and she's just going to manipulate him and change him once he becomes bonded to her. Because men bond. That's what they do. Women will sleep with anything because they're sluts. It's just their nature. There's no reason to even get mad about this, men, but do understand it so that it doesn't take you by any sort of surprise, So this is the game. This is what's happening, and the governments are perpetuating it as well. They see men as tools, which they can send to war. And women see men as tools. They can lie to them. They can manipulate them sexually. They can change them to their advantage. They can accuse them of crimes when they want a new man. No problem. The whole justice system will go along with the women. The whole social system will go along with the women. Lying is what this world is built on. And women, along with the sexual instincts of the man, are the primary tools in this game. Check out my video, The Game of Man, where I go into more detail on this subject. It's really important. Now, this list could go on and on, right? But with all this entitlement that the women have been getting and this demonization of the men for just normal sexual behavior, the women have become fat, lazy, stupid pigs, and they can't even think for themselves anymore. And whenever someone doesn't agree with them, they just start accusing them of made-up emotional social injustices where they are the offended party, judge, and jury, sexist, misogynist, racist, blah, blah, blah. And real men, real people are just getting sick of all this fake offense, this falsely trying to accuse anyone that they don't agree with of this made up false social injustice. Not many good men will be familiar with this strategy because it's a strategy of the insect world. Check out my video, Modern Women and the Black Widow's Spider, where I talk about this in more detail. It's known as a false attack, where you just assume that somebody was attacking you so that you can then attack them, even though you know it's false. And then you can just say, oh, hey, I'm sorry. A false attack. Yeah. I think, probably works in chess too. Was that 7 reasons? Let me give you one more reason. The true nature of women has been exposed. With men sincerely trying to, enact some sort of justice and be fair and meet women, halfway, their true nature has been exposed. Their hypergamous nature, their manipulative nature, their using of sex, their use of shame over men and manipulation of men, the dishonesty, the lack of affection with which they treat men. And the same for the media and the large institutions. They're manipulating men through the man's noble, decent instincts to be with women. That's what's being manipulated, and it's been exposed. It can't be hidden. The women are doing it, and the government and the institutions of the civilization are doing it. If you're wondering what's going on, why the governments are destroying the, situation, and why they're just trying to take care of the women and take care of the refugees, it's because that's what this game is. The demonization of men so that the men will work harder to gain sexual access, and the women will just lord over it, the governments will lord over it, and they will use it to control the men. The men will never get strong, the governments and the women will control the men for all time, and the men will never control the governments. It'll never be a government of, for, and by the people anymore, right? It'll be by the fear of the women and the victim classes. That's the game. That's what's going on. And if you can be aware of it, you can avoid a lot of the attempts to be manipulated by it and to be led to your own destruction by it, of course. And it's so insidious because, as I've said, it's going after the sexual instinct and the good nature of man, right? I mean, that's what, when media and culture and civilization are telling the women that, the men are evil and that they're all a bunch of sexist pigs and things like that, it causes this wedge and this divide between the men and the women. And it is the man's biological purpose to get together with the women. So that's what they're thwarting. That's what they're putting a wedge between. Okay? And now they give the women the social tools to lord over the men, right? He looked at me funny in the office. I feel a little uncomfortable in the office. Let's fire him, and I would like to have his position, and if you don't agree with that, maybe it's because you're sexist too. So the institutions have given the women this power within, this advanced technological society, and they've taken it. It is their nature. And this force is now just mowing down the individual men, their ability to create a future, and it is entitling and empowering the women and this victim class of people who will lie about it, who will cry about it, who will scream about it, who will make up as much noise about it, so that this otherwise powerful male-based society gets turned towards their favor, okay? And it's undeniable. I mean, there it is. That's what the women are doing. That's what the government and the civilization is doing. That's what the media is doing. And we're going to make sure that this message gets out and is perfectly clear to the men. And seeing as how the men are being used up and destroyed and discarded, I don't see how the man is going to be able to deny it for very much longer. Like we still have a lot of guys that come in here and say, oh no, the important thing to do here in this life is to serve the women and to do, and to get ahead and to make all this money so that you can get a lot of, sex. And it's like, buddy, there's going to come a time when you fail, when you come up short, when someone wants your job and they tell a lie about you, right? It's like, yeah, you're doing great. It's like, but 9 out of 10 of the men who play this game wind up dead crushed upon the rocks. So where do you think you're going, right? Okay, good luck. Maybe you can be that 1 out of 10. So there you go. 7 or 8 reasons why men are opting out of relationships and marriage. Let me know what you think about this list in the comment section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. Go ahead and click on my PayPal donation link and request yourself a Howard Dare video, or just make a donation to the channel. I'd appreciate it. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.